I'll just pour my coffee when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Like my toucan
That is pretty cool.
mug.
Is the
Got it
is
in
the
Mexico.
handle the nose?
The beak.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
beak. It's pretty cool. All right, let
Thanks.
me post some up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do the same.
And then sadly for we don't have a thumbnail. I asked Zach this morning. So we'll probably be going middle day. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
I wish I could how do I switch this into it's not worth it. I have my Google switched into dark mode and I'm not a big fan of it, I'm not gonna lie. But
No, I switched my teams into Darkman recently, and I honestly still don't know if I like it. I think it's easier
no.
on my eyes, though.
Yeah, I remember I always used to yell at John in high school. I'd be like, just eat more carrots, bro. He's like, why aren't you in dark mode? Straining your eyes. All right. Let's so any specific series you want to start with? Should we start with all right. Let
um,
me pull up.
I mean, might as well do the two that are still going on first, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We have two game sevens. Best
Yeah.
best best words in sports. All right. Um cool. Then we'll be good to go. I know what we're doing.
Alrighty.
All right. Let's get started in God, I reheated this coffee and it's blazing hot. All right, we're gonna get started in three, two, and one. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing great, Chris. We have the NBA draft done, put a bow on it. We have our pods on it. We broke it all down. We hit up every team, so go check that out. But now it's time to catch up on the NBA playoffs, and that's really what we're going to do here today. Um, Maybe we'll have Aaron Barton, special guest later. He might be oversleeping, but
To
that's
show up
okay.
like the Undertaker
Yeah, exactly.
as he comes
He's
in.
gonna waltz in. Um, but we have full NBA playoffs to break through. The first round is almost over. We have two games left, two game sevens left, and then we're on to the second round. So, Chris, we're gonna start with the Nuggets. The Clippers and Nuggets play today. This series has been incredible so far. They've had some amazing games. I think it was game. What was the game where they lost by one? It was game four. The Nuggets get that buzzer beater with Aaron Gordon. There's a fight that breaks out. I mean, there's just been some real drama in this series, and now it's game seven. Chris, Who do you think's gonna come out on top here? Any?
I mean, I first of all, the fact that this actually went 7 after, like, I feel like we both talked about it going 7 because this is
Yeah,
one of the best matchups that we had. So thank you to the NBA gods for
right.
delivering on this series. Um, but I almost like go back to my pre-playoff take that I just can't. There's something in me that can't trust the Clippers because of Harden, and it's like he's had a good series. He had like one rough game. It was Game 5. Um, but like bright lights of Game 7, there's too many demons there.
It is. It is, and
But at the
it's
same time,
scary
we just saw the Nuggets lose to Game 7 last year.
at home,
And
which they are
thinking
right.
about that game, I was like, there's no way the Nuggets lose this Game 7 to the Wolves. Like, they have so much more experience. So I'm pretty torn. I think, gun to my head, I'm still taking the Nuggets just because that's who I took to win the series in the first place. But yeah, definitely going to be an awesome night.
The has the best two playoff performers. I mean, whenever Kawhi's healthy, of course, that we've seen in recent NBA
Hmm.
history, and
Yeah.
Kawhi was fantastic. I think it was game 2 where he missed maybe one shot. Um, yeah, the game where they won by 3, he missed 39 points. He was like 15 for 17, something crazy like that. Um, this is just it just had everything you've wanted in an NBA series. You know, they've had a couple blowout games. And then every other game's been close. It's been back and forth. Even last game, the Nuggets come back a little bit right at the end of the game to make it interesting. Felt like the Clippers could have blown it at the end there. I don't know what to do here. I still don't like how the Nuggets don't have a coach. It's Jokic out there. Have you noticed that? Like he's subbing in Aaron Gordon. He's kind of like Bill Russell player coach out there, which is pretty
I feel
impressive.
like at some point that will matter, but I don't know if it's going to be this series.
That's
Like,
the
they've
thing,
already
and it's
gotten it to a 7th game.
that's what I'm thinking. And the Clips, they the Clips drive me crazy because they keep playing Chris Dunn, and I have no idea why. That guy's got to go. He's got to go in for Derrick Jones Jr. And Nick Batum, hero of the game last game. They're deep. They have all these different lineups that they could run. Um, but it's funny. If Zubac isn't out there, they don't have a center anymore. They're running Batum, which was playing great defense on Jokic. All this being said, Jokic could just go for 60, 10, and 10, and it doesn't matter. And he also could go 60, 10, and 10 and lose. But um, I'm nervous. I'm real nervous because I like the Clippers. I bet on the Clippers. Of course, I bet on them with the Lakers, so that didn't matter. But uh, I still would put my money. I put my faith behind the Clippers. I think if they're ever gonna, they got to break some sort of curse, and if like they got to exercise some demons here. And James Harden's got to exercise some demons. As you said, he had that one no-show game, but other than that, he's been great all series. Ah, what's the line? I mean, Nuggets are at home. I'm gonna pull
I
it up on my.
assume it's like -2.5. I had to guess. Um, yeah, well, you're pulling that up. The Batum thing is crazy because like that dude a couple years ago was just wasting away in Charlotte. Like he signed that ridiculous
Fourth
contract,
quarter,
and
why
he
the
was
fuck Batumin? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
right.
Clippers
Yeah,
1.5.
exactly. And then oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and now he's playing. I was just looking at the game log. He played 34 minutes in Game 6 of a playoff
He's
game, and he was
36
doing it for
years
the
old.
Sixers 2 years ago too. Like
He's
out there playing
36.
meaningful minutes, hitting huge shots in playoff games. So that guy, he's like the ace off the bench. That it's like they bring him in. It's like, oh, this
Is that
series might have just changed now that Nick Batum is out there.
I w
Because it does
am
feel
I
like they've unlocked maybe this like secret weapon almost.
I hope you're right. Now that you're laying it out, it almost makes me nervous. Did they have the Batum game already?
Well, I mean, they don't need him to like go off again.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's
if he's
true.
going to take away Chris Dunn's minutes and the Nuggets don't have a coach to like really adjust, it could be a significant factor.
The issue is for some reason James Harden, like whenever Chris Dunn is out there, Chris Dunn takes the ball up to half court, and it should be Harden. And Chris, I don't know. You could play Chris Dunn minutes. I'm not saying like get him completely out of the bench or completely out of the game, but especially in the last game, they listened and they did this. I think they only played him like 15 minutes, and that's the way to do it. You got to play him as minimal as possible because he has. I mean, he's good on defense. He's their point guard. Yeah, he played 10 minutes last game and they won. That's perfect. But Bogdan Bogdanovic has to be playing more. Derek Jones Jr. has to be playing more, and clearly Nick Batum has to be playing more. Um, God, I'm excited for this game.
He's a
On the
vet.
Nuggets side, the Nuggets. I mean, they've won 3 games as well. They they need a Michael Porter Jr. game. And what scares me about the Clips is that he just had a stinker. So it's like snip snap. Michael Porter Jr. Here he comes for Game 7. Jamal Murray's had some games where it's like, oh, okay, I forget that Jamal Murray's like an amazing playoff guy. He's in the regular season, he's pretty average. And not average, but he's pretty good. Like he's above average. And in the playoffs though, he just takes that next step. And you've seen that in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on Westbrook here on this Nuggets team?
I don't know. It feels like at any point, like a close game, he could let the game slip away. Or something that he does. But there's also like that Westbrook that we've watched our whole lives. And like he's playing the minutes. He's obviously still an effective player. And like they don't sound like they have other options. It just makes me nervous.
It's the confidence. Confidence will bite it. It's like
Yeah.
it's a
Because he plays, with the confidence of like triple double MVP Westbrook.
yes.
When the Thunder had no other scorers around him. And now they have the best player in the league and 2 really good scorers around him.
I mean, there's some of these late games where it's like, why are you taking this layup? What are you doing? And then there's these games where he nails a corner 3 in the fourth quarter. And you're like, oh, there's Russell Westbrook. He's just saved the game. And and then like 2 plays later, he like throws it over the backboard. He's a
Would you
fascinating
say that he's the
player.
X factor in this game 7?
Oh yeah, if he there's a chance. I mean, he could get. That's the thing with Russell Westbrook. I mean, he could get 25 points. He could get 20 something points. A bunch of rebounds, a bunch of assists. He's definitely the X. And is it him and Batum? We got Westbrook and Batum as the West.
Might be.
Oh God, what year is this?
I mean, it's
Um,
almost like we know what we're getting from these other that Jokic is gonna have a big game. Like, you
yep.
know that Jamal Murray's gonna score probably at least 20. I guess Porter is the other one where you don't really know. Like, I
Porter,
wouldn't be shocked if you put up another
Harden.
stinker.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't be
guess
shocked either.
Harden's
Harden's a
Harden's kind
big.
of a wild
This is like
card.
you got to exercise
But
demons.
Harden,
You got to
yeah,
exercise demons here.
I think he'll play well. I know I picked against him because it led in with that reason, but I don't
He's
know. It
Mr.
does feel
Clipper.
a little bit different. He's Mr. Clipper. Maybe
He
that's
he
why.
played 47 minutes. They didn't even go to overtime. How is that possible?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He
I
sat for
didn't
1
realize it.
minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, there's 48. I always thought there was 42. Yeah, there's 48 minutes. You're right. He
Okay.
sat for 1 minute. Um, did you see what he said after the game? He said, "I'm way too tired to go home right now. We're not losing that game." Like he was.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah. He was.
It's funny.
They asked him how he felt, and he just looked at the reporter, and he just looked dogged, like just absolutely dogged. And he was like, "I'm just tired, bro. I am way too tired." Um, so yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is gonna be big. I think we're gonna get as you said, the rest of the guys. I think we're gonna like Christian Braun's gonna hit his shots. He's gonna make smart plays. Jamal Murray, when you put him in the right situation, he's gonna make the right plays. He's gonna hit his shots, and he's gonna make his own shot. He's gonna be important in this game too. And then Jokic is gonna do everything that Jokic does. We barely even talked about Jokic just because it seems like if you if you are adjacent to the NBA, like as in like you've seen like Twitter clips, I feel like you know how good Jokic is. I don't feel
Yeah.
like you have to watch too much to realize, oh, that dude just like gets the ball every possession. That dude passes it to everyone on
He's
the
been the best
team.
player in basketball for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, he really has. Um, it's funny. I turned on the game and I'm like, I mean, like I was talking to my brother at the time. I was like, maybe this makes me casual, but like number 8 is that Peyton Watson? And there it was Peyton Watson. uh, getting some minutes out there. I don't have much on it, but it was just funny to see him out there. The Clippers, they don't have that type of guy though. They do have Ben Simmons, where it's like you see Ben Simmons out there, but they got rid of him quick. Like it was game one, game two, he was out there, but that was it. Um, and I guess for me it would be Chris Dunn. Like, why is Chris Dunn there? But now that they're rotating out, they got 7 guys
They're
that
so
are,
much deeper
yeah, I was
than
gonna
they get.
say
And
seven
even
guys
it's
are just
like it's a difference
dangerous.
between like 6 guys and 8 guys, which doesn't seem like that big of a difference, but there's 5 guys on the floor, it's a pretty significant difference.
Yeah, the it's and when you're running, like, you're just running your 5 guys into the ground. So when you have those 2 guys to come in and get some heat check shots in, to get some nice passes, get some nice defense, that's what you need. I mean, they're throwing 3 minutes of DeAndre Jordan out there. In some of his earlier games, he did a little bit better than the last game, but it's just like they're desperate for anyone to come off the bench
Mm.
and help them out. And so I'm going with the Clippers. I think that's what I went with at the beginning of the series. Did you say I forget 'cause we talked about that was
I had
Nuggets.
Nuggets. I
Yeah, that
think
was
you
me
had
too.
Clippers in
Yeah.
6, and I had Nuggets in 7.
Yeah.
So I can switch up now.
Yep. Yeah, you might as well let it ride. And they're at
I will
home.
say,
They did lose it
yeah,
last year at home. But what were you saying?
I thought no, they were on the road last year. I thought
No.
because wasn't Minnesota the number 1 seed?
No, I thought no. I thought OKC was number 1 seed again.
Well, regardless, the other thing about Game Sevens is like there's always that unsung hero that steps up,
Yep.
like somebody who you don't expect, and these teams aren't that deep, but like there's going to be somebody who drops 10, 15 points that you were not ready for, which could change a whole game.
I forgot about that game. They were down the Timberwolves were down 20. It was,
Yeah,
yeah, it was in Denver
it was
too. Anthony
horrible.
Edwards.
It wasn't Denver.
Yeah.
Why
Wow.
did I think Minnesota was they were the 4 seed, right? Why did I think that they were the 1?
Yes, and the Nuggets were the 3 or the 2, something like that. Ah, look who it
Oh,
is.
there he is.
We got now we're switching to 3-man setup. Hopefully, Chris, say something real quick.
Hello, hello.
Oh yeah, your audio is fine. We got for people who aren't on the YouTube version, we got our boy AB. He's coming in. Um, he was texting me.
Suspense is
I didn't want to
there he
ruin the
is.
surprise. Good morning. Good morning,
What's up?
AB. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm great.
It's good to have you on. We're in the
Thank you.
middle of our discussion for actually we're at the end of our discussion for the Nuggets Clips game 7. So give us your thoughts real quick on Nuggets Clips.
All right, sweet. I'm excited for this game tonight. I
You
think
gonna make it
that
up to the game tonight?
oh, for sure. Yeah. Um, I don't I think that the game tonight has some big implications on the series to follow. Um, I think the winner, I think that the Clippers have a legit shot at beating the Thunder just because of Kawhi. But I think that like, when he hits that robot mode and
Terminator.
it's yeah, I mean it's anybody's loss against that, honestly. But I think the Nuggets would lose to the Thunder in probably 6 or 7. So I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting though. Either team could pull this one out. I mean, the Nuggets could go beat OKC. I just don't really see it. I just think like I like what the Clippers got going on right now. I mean, we've talked about that, but yeah, I think that I think I like the Clippers to win the night, and I like them going to the Western Conference Finals possibly.
Ooh, okay, spicy. Coming in here hot. I like that. Coming in
Yeah,
here hot.
yeah.
Um, what needs to go right for the Clips then tonight for them to win?
I would just say, they need Jamal Murray not to play like he did last game because Jamal Murray was great. If Jamal Murray's playing like that, then Nuggets actually could make a run. But we just haven't seen that in a little bit, you know? Like Jamal Murray hasn't been this lights out in this playoffs yet anyway. So, I don't know. And he wasn't really that lights out last year either. So, hey man, if he's back, it's who knows.
So and that would be, of course, the key to the Nuggets winning here tonight would be Jamal Murray.
I think so, yeah. The
Word.
Clippers can limit that, then if everybody does their thing, then they'll win the game.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at you yawning through your explanations because I know you literally just rolled out of bed. It's funny.
A little bit, but no, man. I mean, like Jokic will put up triple doubles and they'll lose. Like, it's just how it goes. I mean, if Jamal Murray isn't out there being an alpha, then can't do it.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I think Chris, you good to move on from that one? I know Aaron, we just got in, but you just got in. But we're now moving to the second game 7 of the first round. We have the Rockets and the Warriors. The Rockets last night beat the Warriors by 8, and they force a game 7. So I'm nervous about the Warriors if I'm a Warriors fan here. I really don't care about the Warriors. I actually don't want to see them advance because I'm tired of the Warriors. I do like Kevin or Seth Curry, but they don't have enough guys. I mean, they got Jimmy Butler, they got Steph Curry. The big men are coming in for the Rockets. Steven Adams is putting on work on the Warriors. So they just don't have enough guys. That's honestly what I've gotten out this series. Like they have had a couple big games. Of course, they've made it to a game 7, but they I think Ime Udoka has figured this out. I think the Rockets figured this out. Um, what are your guys' thoughts here?
It kind of does feel like that. And we talked about the Rockets pre-playoffs about how we were worried that they don't have that guy who can step up and hit big shots when they need it. And Fred VanVleet has taken over that role. Like he's been the guy that has been a bucket getter for them. And the Warriors have done a great job with Jalen Green, and that's allowed VanVleet to kind of take over some of these games. And going into a game 7, like he was one of the only guys that we talked about that he has been there before. Like he's won the finals with the Raptors not that long ago.
Against Curry
So
too.
like he has done it before. Right, it was against Curry. So this is almost like a reverse Demons game here. Like Rockets blew that lead to the Warriors a couple years ago. Obviously, it was a completely different team, but the Warrior, like it's still Curry, it's still Draymond, it's still Steve Kerr. So like, if they were to reverse that, come back from a 3-1 lead against this team, at home too, that would be awesome. But like, I trust VanVleet now. Like it's like almost not even a concern of mine anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be a fun one because I think that one also has decent implications for the next series, but I wouldn't say as much because I kind of think the winner of this one's gonna go lose to Minnesota personally.
I agree. I would
But
agree with that.
um, I think that I don't know if I have as much of a problem with the Warriors depth wise. I think that why I feel like whoever does lose or win this one will lose the next one simply for the fact that I mean, we watched what happened with the Timberwolves against the Lakers. It wasn't really like, I mean, granted, yeah, maybe JJ using his depth could have changed it, who knows? But I think that what happened proved that if Gobert's there, he's just playing his role. Unless you have a guy that's going to be able to at least similarly rebound, like the Timberwolves got you at a disadvantage. And like that's in the playoffs, getting extra possessions is crucial because every single possession matters just like that much more. But I guess going back to this series, I mean, I think it's just great because you have a team where Houston's, I think, 30th in assist percentage, and the Warriors are obviously always great in assist percentage. You have them, I think they're bottom 20 in offensive rating, but obviously top 5 in defensive rating. And the Warriors, since the Jimmy trade, have been top 3 in all of those things. So they're doing well, but I think that Chris's point is so valuable here because coming into the series and at the beginning, Fred VanVleet wasn't that great. Like he was like, and when Fred VanVleet's not that great, we saw it for a portion of last night's game. It was like they would just kind of do this thing where it's like, okay, well, we pass it around. The Warriors trap or where the ball goes, everywhere on the perimeter, but they want it to get into Sengun to force him into that decision of, do I kick out and do a contested three, or do I try and do my little floater thing? And when they're trapped into that, Warriors got the Rockets right where they want them, because it leads to a lot of inefficient shots I was seeing last night. But as soon as somebody else starts hitting those shots, like Fred VanVleet started to kind of just go bonkers in last couple games, and when the other guys are too. I mean, y'all's points about the depth. I mean, it's too much. That's because that's the problem about Houston, like you were saying, Brady. It all comes down to shot makers. If they can make their shots, I mean, they're one of, if not the best defensive team in the league. Like nobody can really defend them that well if they're all making their shots. It's just that's their question.
And that the Fred VanVleet just takes off the pressure of the Jalen Greens, of Dylan Brooks, even though Dylan Brooks has been more of a veteran now, and Amon Thompson, where they can just do their thing. They can hit the shot that they need to hit, and Fred VanVleet can hit the clutch shots and set them up for other opportunities. Like that's what's concerned me with the Rockets going into the series, was just that Jalen just, I don't know about Jalen Green. I like him. I think he's a talented player. I just didn't think he was ready for this playoffs yet. I think he's had some decent games, but he's also had some stinkers. Um, and it's funny, they have too many guys, I think. Um, they need to slim down this roster, I think, because they have Cam Whitmore off the bench. They have Reed Shepard off the bench, who doesn't get any minutes. Even to Jeff Green is definitely, like, Jeff Green could play for the Nuggets right now. Um, and so they're going to be an interesting team over the offseason. They're going to be an interesting team going into the next series if they make it. But in the game 7, I will be nervous about a game 7. Like they need a dominant Steven Adams game again. They need Şengün to be on top of they need the big men to be on top of their game. And 'cause I don't want it to come down to Curry versus Van Vliet. As much as we were just loving Van Vliet stuff, it can't come down to that, because it's not going to end well.
Yeah, but I mean, and just I guess just a quick side note, like we wouldn't even be talking about like a quote unquote dominant game from Steven Adams if it wasn't from just, him coming through when they tried to play hack a Steven Adams.
Yeah.
Like that's all it was in the fourth quarter. And like, if that a lot of times that plan could have worked. I mean, Steph started to make a couple of huge threes, and they tried to just, go to that method to where Steven Adams would give him 1 for 2, maybe 0 for 2, and he kept going 2 for 2 and ended up with, I think, 17. And it's like that's huge, when the Warriors have great shooters everywhere and could crawl their way back in, but Steven Adams keeps going to the line and saying, "No, I'm going to keep this a 15-point game." That's sweet.
And that's what was the concerning part for me going into the series with the Rockets, is because when you have Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, the lead is never, like, it's never too safe. They could play good basketball for 40 minutes, and the last 8 are getting taken over by Steph Curry or Jimmy buckets going to the line, getting some and ones, and that'll completely change the course of how everyone's playing. So
Yeah.
that would make me nervous for game 7 as well. I mean, of course, it's like an experience thing. It's all the classic tropes for game 7. I don't know. I don't know. Forget. I think I had I'm not even sure I had the Rockets, right, Chris?
You had the Rockets?
One of us had. I know one of us did. I'm
I
looking
think
at the
About
I think I
what?
had the Rockets.
right
We
before the
did our
playoffs.
playoff like
Oh,
predictions.
I know a while back I was very high on the Rockets going
You were
far.
all in on the
Oh yeah,
Rockets.
yeah.
We
We
did
last
our
on the
And
pod.
and
You were
pretenders and
confident.
I
contenders.
I still love them as a team going forward. I just think that given, you know, where we're looking at Anthony Edwards right now, I think that factor's overtaken many of my past takes at this moment. Like I think that we're starting to just see something that's like a a dude on a team
All
that's
right, wait. I'm gonna
saying,
pause you real quick. because let's finish up the Warriors Rockets, and then let's go to the Wolves because you seem excited for it. I'm excited to talk about it. So let's just finish up this real quick. Who do you guys have for tonight or for tomorrow night? Just make it simple. Make your case, and then we'll move on.
Who did I take? Did you see?
I had the
Okay.
Warriors. So that means you had the Rockets because we were disagreeing a
I'll
lot that episode.
stick with the Rockets then.
There you go. All right, AB, what you got?
I go Dubs. I didn't. If I wish I would have known, when we were last talking about, or when I was last on here that Jimmy Butler would have been a Warrior and they would have been the 7 seed playing the Rockets as a 2 seed. Like I just personally think that, that's not normal. And it sucks for Houston. But they have a great foundation for moving forward. If a men takes that All-Star leap next season, I think they really could get to that place for sure. But I think
He's
that
good.
Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler have seen a game 7 too many times.
Yeah, it's the
That's
it's the
what I
simple
think right now.
graphic. I think it was game 1. It was a simple graphic. It was like Steph Curry, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, 100+ playoff games, all the Rockets, like first one or like 20th or like 15th. It's like there's
Yeah.
levels to this shit. And that's I'd be way too nervous if I was the Rockets. I mean, I think if they have a big enough lead where they had it like last night and they can maintain that lead with some Steven Adams, hack of Steven Adams and stuff like that, then they can for sure win this game. But if it's close, I'm I'm really gonna have to lean the Warriors. And game 7, everything ties down, everything boils down, everything gets tighter. Um, I'm nervous about the Curry shots. But
Just hoping
let's
my
go.
hometown hero.
What were you saying?
My fault. I said just
No worries.
hoping my hometown hero comes through.
Curry. Yeah, Davidson.
Yeah,
Um,
Steph Curry.
so it was all about Lakers in 5. It was all about Lakers in 5. It ended up being the Timberwolves in 5. And I honestly just kind of feel like an idiot. I really like I just felt like and I feel the whole world should not the whole world, but most of the basketball world should feel like idiots. We knew they didn't have a center. We knew
Uh,
they weren't big enough, but we were like Luka and LeBron. There's no way they lose in first round, right?
We definitely owe Gobert an apology because we basically said that it doesn't matter that he's
Yes.
like one of the best centers in the NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
well, he's so easily exposed, so he's basically a non-factor.
I think
Couldn't have been
And we
more
just
wrong.
go
and we
ahead.
bought into the casual narrative of Julius Randle being trash.
Yep.
And he was debatably the best player in several of those games too.
Yeah, this was a big like I just felt like an idiot. I just felt so dumb because they got
I think
smacked. Every time they lost, they got smacked. And I guess besides
I
game
think
4, but
I think part of what made me feel stupid about it too was not feel stupid about it. I think part of what made me not take them as seriously as I could have, which is really dumb in retrospect. But I'm like, realistically, the Timberwolves should have been in the plan. Like they
yes,
were, they
yes.
were, they were a 7 or 8 seed, like
Julius
all the
Randle
way
turned
up
up in
until the
March.
Grizzlies crumbled. Yeah, the Grizzlies just crumbled at the very end, and the Timberwolves slid their way up. And I'm like, I was just like, well, I mean, this team that isn't as big as they were last year, like, only older than they were last year in some crucial positions. I'm like, why would I believe they could beat Luka and LeBron together? It's Luka and LeBron together. And then now my mindset's a complete 180. My mindset's like, well, shoot, they went to the Western Conference Finals last season, and Ant was 22. He's 23 now. I guess it's one step further, right? Like that's where I'm at.
I think
It's
last year
funny how
definitely played a
things could.
part in well, because last year we saw them lose to Luca.
Yeah.
I was like, oh well, they're playing Luca again, and he has LeBron, so that's easy math.
Yeah, another great point.
The thing that we forgot though is that the Mavericks had 2 centers. That the
Yeah.
Lakers have 0. But when I knew I was an idiot when game 5 is out, Lakers must win, and I see freaking Maxi Kleber out there. I'm like, "You gotta be shitting me. I saw 14. I was like, and like I did I like rubbed my eyes. I maybe went to the bathroom and splashed some water in my face. I was like, there's no way in hell that's Maxi Cleveland. Don't tell me that's who I think it is. And there he is, getting some minutes. And I know he didn't get many minutes, but just seeing him out there, I was like, they're cooked. They're desperate for anything, and they don't have it. Um, they just didn't have the defense. They didn't have the rebounding, and they had LeBron and Luca, and that was it. Which really, and they had Rui. Rui helped, but Austin Reeves didn't do well this series. Um, Dorian Finney-Smith didn't help him out very much. They, this was a sad ending for the Lakers season. I feel like for all the hype that came around them, it was a sad way to go out.
Yeah, I love JJ, but I definitely no, I mean it's why you gotta be a coach for for a little bit, and you can't use this one series to say he had a bad year. He had a good year. He had a
He did
solid
have a good
year.
year. They were not supposed to be. I mean, and of course they weren't supposed to get Luca either, but they weren't supposed to be the 3 seed
Yeah,
or 4
yeah.
seed.
But yeah, I mean, he didn't play Jackson Hayes a single minute.
That was
Um,
weird.
yeah, that was I mean, in a game where Rudy Gobert is dominating you,
I
you just
understand
let
not starting him.
I always wonder about
yeah.
stuff like that. Like, what's going on inside the building that we're not aware of? Because, like, clearly there's no trust there. Because
And
they
they
couldn't
they
have been more
started him.
desperate.
And they started him every other game. It's like we're gonna start you every other game, and then bench you in the fourth quarter, and then this game 5 elimination game, we're gonna get destroyed on
Yeah.
rebounds and never ask you to come in at all. I think that's a bad game plan.
I mean, I get like wanting to switch something up, but at the same time, like you don't have other options.
Well, and there's a way to
There were
switch it
some
up
Work.
without taking him out of the lineup completely.
Yeah.
there were several times where like Dorian Finney-Smith went cold. It'd be like a 7 point T-Wolves lead just throughout the series, and I'd be like, why not? Why not play Dalton Connect?
Yeah, that was
Like you
weird too.
can't convince me he's like that bad defensively,
They were already
and
trashed defensively.
I guess this segues, yeah, and I guess this segues into a whole different conversation now, but like, like he played 0 minutes, and the Lakers said, actually, we don't want Mark Williams. We want to keep Dalton Connect. We were giving up too much for Mark Williams. And so, but now come when it matters, they get killed on the boards and they don't even play Dalton Connect.
Yeah,
So I
they
don't
don't have
know.
Mark Williams or Dalton Connect at that point. They're just not even playing him.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know, man. The Lakers are questionable, man. They always have been, but it is a very Lakers thing to do to get their fan base, Luka Doncic and LeBron, and then lose in the first round. That's a very Lakers
It
thing
is
to
a very
do.
Lakers thing to do. That is
I
true.
feel so bad for him, don't you? It's just it
No,
couldn't have
Huh?
happened to a nicer group of
Yeah, for nicer group of fans. No, they got the Yankees to
I
worry
don't.
about. They're fine.
I don't
Cowboys
think.
had a decent
Yeah,
draft. Cowboys had a good draft. They're good.
I was gonna say they got the Lakers, they got the Dodgers, and knowing how
They're all
soft some of
Yankees
those
fans.
fans are, I bet half of them jumped ship to the Clippers now. Like
Probably
and
true.
I actually have no sympathy because I actually get like for unknown reasons, I get random strays for being a Hornets fan, and we're always terrible. It's always the same kid sitting over here smiling in his little Celtic shirt that also gets the privilege of choosing to be a Wizards fan because he doesn't get emotionally damaged. He's a fan of a team that's always good. So at the end of the day, if the Lakers suck, that makes me happy. Trade
Hey,
for
I
Luca
paid into
and lose
Wizards
in the
fandom.
first round. Be an embarrassment because
Season
my
tickets?
team is
Oh
always
yeah.
an embarrassment. So I
Nice.
like it when somebody's an embarrassment with me. End of rant.
I was gonna say when Chris mentioned that, I could see the glimmer in your face. I was like, you woke the Hornets fan in the chat. Um,
anytime a team goes below expectations, it makes me happy because my team always goes below expectations. So
That's how I used to watch the NFL, like, up until this year. Like, I was just rooting for everyone to lose. I wanted the Chiefs to win every year because I didn't want other people to, like, now have this happiness of winning Super Bowls if I wasn't gonna even sniff it.
Shout out.
The
Speaking of
49ers
that,
making the playoffs was, like, the best for me.
the this
that's
this take reminds me of my.
fair.
Do you ever meet? I mean, yeah, we played Madden with him. Ryan Proctor. Remember that
Mhm.
guy? Yeah. He had the best take when the Super Bowl was coming up. He was like, I need Mahomes to win because or it was like the championship game. And he's like, if Josh Allen wins, they have that over Lamar. If Jalen Hurts
Mhm.
wins, they have that over Lamar. If whoever else was in the NFC wins, oh, the Commanders, yeah, if the Commanders win, then they have that
Yeah, then it's
instantly over
Jaden.
Lamar.
Yeah.
So he was like, I need them all to lose. I just need the Chiefs to win
Yep.
again. I was like, that's respectful. Like that is mad
It is,
respect.
yeah. Let one team soak it all up, and I can live I'd rather have that and the rest of us be miserable than have a couple teams that get to stand on their pedestal. It's a horrible way to watch sports, but
Yeah.
it's
No, that's what literally one of my best friends, you might have met him one time, Brady. His name's David. He freaking he said the same thing about the Chiefs last offseason. He was talking about the Panthers. And I'm like, bro, we're not insufferable enough for you to be doing this. But like he was like, bro, I don't care, dude. If any like he gets hype when the Chiefs are doing good because he's just like, you know what, like they're already so good. Like if it's not us, I'd rather just be the team that's already always nice. Why should other teams get to be happy? I'm just like, bro, like it's not. I'm not that far. I'm not that far. I just don't like how the Hornets get clowned all the time. Everybody's like, oh, I want to go to Charlotte. I'm like, bro, we're just always hurt. Sorry, like it'll be fun when Lamelo's hitting a game winner, throwing up the thing over his face and saying I'm one of one. Like he'll just only be able to do that down 20 right now because his best teammate was Nick Smith Jr. Like, come on, just give it some
the
time.
Pistons did it. Pistons
Yeah,
did it. The
Yeah,
turnaround is it's
it's
possible.
possible. Yeah.
and they stayed healthy and added pieces and got a new coach, which I think honestly I don't like our coach either, but
You only
we
have
just
one
need to
year with
really just
Charles Lee. You're already out on Charles?
personally, I just don't like him. I'm not out. I would never be out on a first year head coach because it's his first year, but I don't like him.
I mean, I honestly, I mean, he was assistant for the Celtics, so it's not like I have any like I have no idea what he did. What is he? Why don't you like him?
I mean, to start the
Kind
year,
of
well,
personal.
in like the first 20 games, there was one game, I forget who we were playing, but he benched LaMelo for like the whole fourth quarter. And like we brought it back like as a message to him to like because he was like playing too
Did you guys
wild.
win the game?
And then no, and then we
Oh, okay.
we brought it back to within like 5 and we called a timeout with like less than 2 minutes to go and LaMelo was just sitting on the bench. We like ended up going out and like turning the ball over a couple of times and missed shots and we're like, dude, we were down 5 and we have LaMelo Ball sitting on the bench. And just because you wanted to send a message. And then just if you watch the games too, I mean like you guys could say, yeah, like what else are we supposed to do? But as me, that's a genuine fan who watches the games, I'm not trying to just watch Brandon Miller chuck threes. Like it's literally like he just
I'm not
chucks
trying to watch
threes.
that either.
He has teammates. Like I get it. The teammates aren't great, but for a time he had Grant Williams. He had these other guys. Like when Lamelo was hurt and he was playing, there were dudes on the floor with him, and he would just chuck threes like the whole time. Like I remember one game he literally put up like 37 shots or something. Like it was unbelievable.
Far
Like
too many. That's
and
Brunson numbers, and he's in the playoffs.
yeah, and I mean, and what I'm saying is like, dude, like, like, if you're Charles Lee, you gotta have some type of consistent offensive scheme to where it's not just your best players chucking shots. I get it, where we were having a year where everybody was hurt, and like it's just this story was just like the last. Sure, okay, but you got to give us a product that at least makes us feel like there will be something worth watching in the future. Like this product makes me just just I do and feel ways that I can't express on a podcast, you know? Like I hate it. It sucks. Like people
Destroy
talk
your
about
love for
I'll
the
say the
game.
Hornets suck. I'm like, no, we don't suck as much as the product sucks. Like I can
How
promise
do
you.
you separate the two things? I have to ask. How
Like,
do you separate the
the
two things?
roster itself is not that bad. Like top to bottom, the roster is really not that bad.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And
Like you got to think
I've
about it.
you've made the points before. I've seen your points before, so I get what you're saying on that point.
Like
So you're just
when you
saying they
got
just suck on the court.
yeah, like no, because I'm saying like when you had a roster without LaMelo or without Trey Man or without Grant or without a couple of these other pieces, it just looks terrible. But like next season, when you have a consistent starting lineup of ex rookie, but I guess not even talking about the rookies for now, and you're saying you got LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Josh Green, and Mark. Off the bench, you got Trey Man, you got actually Nick Richards is gone, so you got Nurkic. Um,
Ugh.
hey, the Boston Beast off the bench, not too shabby, not too shabby. You got Seth Curry, yeah, my boy Grant. Like you got a solid bench, like you got a
Ragtag group
solid team.
I was gonna say you're just naming some ragtag fellas, but let's.
Bro, Trey Man was like in the running
I
for
like Trey
six man
Man.
of the year before he got hurt.
Yeah,
I like Trey Man. I'll
Like
give you that.
I
I'm
always
just
loved Seth
saying.
Curry too.
Yeah, he's a solid role guy. So I'm saying I'm just and I named 9 guys, like I haven't even gotten to Tijon Salon. So hey, I'm just saying if healthy, we could be all right. And I'll I have been, if my hopes come through and we get number one, like y'all are gonna have to invite me back on give an hour and a half of irrational takes.
That's sounds
What?
like a deal to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the Cooper flag. I mean, we're gonna get that in the off season. I actually the no, we'll get that before because the lottery is this
It's
month.
soon, right?
Yeah, that's why I had to
It's in
make
like
sure I
2
had.
weeks.
Yeah, I had to make sure I get those tickets before in
It
case
is in the next
football
I
week.
might buy
loses
half.
interest.
Did you get 2 tickets
Yeah, I got two.
or just 1? I might take half of them.
Yeah, all right, man. Sounds good.
They get Cooper flag.
Um, let's get back on track with the playoffs. So,
Yeah, I
um,
think we just lost any viewers that
Sorry,
we
I had to go on a Hornets rant.
that's
I
okay.
feel like I have to go on one per episode.
It's one a pod every time we have you on. That's okay. Every one a
Yeah,
pod every
yeah.
time we have you on. But
I'm just saying though, on paper, look at those guys. Not all that bad.
The product is not good though.
um, Anthony Edwards, he's taken another step.
Right.
Is this not the same conversation we had last year? Can he be the face of the league? Can he be this guy? I mean, he took down Kevin Durant in the first round last year. He took down Jokic in the second round last year. Made it to the Western Conference Finals. I feel like we've had the same conversation, and now it's like, and not that I'm saying we can't have the conversation again, but we're having the conversation, or other people are having the conversation without like mentioning that we also had this conversation last year. Like he's just good. Like he's just that good. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like he's just that good.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just keep having it. It's just gonna keep getting expanded,
Yeah, until eventually
He's
he
got to
is
win the
the
Like it's just
finals
like
to
that.
be like the face of the league,
That's
I
yeah.
think. But I mean,
yeah.
he beat Kevin Durant and LeBron. He whooped them. He
Yes.
lost 1 game to those guys in 2 years. So yeah, it is like almost like a reminder that if we got too excited about this Lakers thing, like maybe even we're too high on OKC. Like we'll see. Hopefully we'll see.
I hope the day when Anthony Edwards wins a championship, I think it's gonna be just perfect thing for the NBA. Like he's just the most charismatic, um, like he's a lovable superstar that plays. I mean, he plays any type of basketball. He can go to the rim. He can shoot threes. He can play great defense. He can pass the ball. He can rebound. Like he's just that guy. And I'm excited for when he wins the championship eventually, because it'll be a long time coming of like, people didn't appreciate when Tatum won last year. So people will go like people who aren't Timberwolves fans will be excited about the NBA and the Timberwolves winning
Yeah.
when they win the championship. If they ever win the
My
championship.
my my theory is part of it, especially media wise, and why we don't, so why we subconsciously don't talk more Ant, is that like Ant was right when he said, the Lakers were supposed to win that last series. They were, in the sense that, the NBA like doesn't want Ant to be the next face.
He
They
doesn't care.
want it to be Tatum. They want it to be somebody else that's more easily marketable because when you look at Ant, it has all the remnants of the same things that went wrong with Michael Jordan. I mean, Ant is, he's right now, I think 23 years old still. And he's one of the best players in the NBA, one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. He's polarizing, but there's all the same issues, maybe not with gambling as much, but there's this stuff where he's so good and he doesn't care that what other people think of him that much, but there's this thing with,
Babies.
the off the court relationship stuff. And just kind of those things to where he's kind of got this like kind of not reckless in the jaw sense, but just kind of this like kid kind of mindset. So it's like where he's kind of reckless and immature. So the league wants it to be somebody else, but Ant keeps saying time after time, like, as much as you
You're not gonna
try and
let
make
him.
somebody else the face of the league, like, I'm the best. Like, there's a reason why he told Obama he is the truth with Obama, with
That
freaking
was
KD
insane.
and
That was an insane clip.
MD right next to him. But I mean, hey, he knows that like regardless of how much he might need to mature as a man over time, like it won't be anybody's choice. He might just be the truth. I mean,
There's the basketball is a different type of sport where.
in
Oh, sorry, you were lagging.
even if he isn't scoring, even if Julius Randle's leading their team in scoring, no,
Oh,
you're
we're
good.
losing.
You're good. I was saying, even if he isn't leading their team in scoring, like, oh shoot,
Yeah, we're good. We're
if
good
I need to
now.
go into another room,
Power
I
through.
can.
Power through.
Yeah,
I
power
was
through.
just saying, like, even if he's not leading the team in scoring, like his playmaking has been so good too, and his defense is so good too. So, I mean, that team's just taking on his identity of like, we maybe you're not gonna pick us, and we don't care. Like, we will beat you anyway, and I love it. I think it's so like you're saying, it's great for basketball. It's great for just, and it's a great reminder to us of like, dude, this is right in front of us, and we got to tune into it now because we might be watching the beginning of like a great career just come into fruition. We're looking for the other narratives. Like this might be the one.
Him, him being in Minnesota doesn't help either, I don't think.
No.
That's not definitely not where the NBA prefers their future face of the league to be playing.
100% agree.
But they've suffered for so long.
Yes, they're a
Minnesota
cursed
needs
franchise
this.
too. Yeah,
The
definitely
the
one.
whole city, every team in that city.
That's true.
Like
Yeah,
I
the
think their last
Vikings.
championship was the Twins in like 91.
Ooh,
And we talk about the Vikings that like they always just lose. They have the best regular seasons. They always lose the worst playoff games ever. The Twins are now irrelevant. Minnesota Wild make the playoffs every year and they never win anything. And then the Wolves just never made the playoffs in the first place since Kevin Garnett. So they deserve this.
there's.
And if I were them, like I would be glad that no one's talking about it, that no one's putting him on the pedestal of like this is the guy, like
Oh yeah, you don't
this
want to
is
be
the year he proves
OKC.
he's the face of the league. No, yeah.
No, you don't want to be
Yeah.
OKC right now. The there's a certain type of like basketball is a certain sport where when you go in, and maybe the quarterback position's like this too, but when you go in and you just think you are the best player in the arena, within in the world. I mean, Anthony Edwards, whether it's true or not, thinks he's the best player in the world. And every game steps on the court like, "I'm gonna kill you because I'm the best player in the world." And with basketball, it's just so much easier to hone that in and your teammates feed off of that. And that was what AB was saying is they've taken this personality of Anthony Edwards and they've injected into Jaden McDaniels. Rudy Gobert has more swagger than he has in the past. Uh, Julius Randle,
He's like not a total loser anymore.
exactly, yeah. And Julius Randle, he's been playing great defense and he's hitting the shots that he needs to hit. And he hasn't been the playoff like Julius Randle that we all expected him to be. So I mean, I think as Aaron was alluding to when we were talking about the Rockets and the Warriors, I think either team that runs out of that series is going to be gassed, it's going to be devastated, and they're going to come into Minnesota and get clapped.
Yeah, I feel like if the Warriors are struggling with the Rockets like depth and physicality, then
Yeah, how are they
Minnesota
going to
is just
guard
the
Anthony?
next
How are they going to guard
step
Anthony
forward
Edwards?
that with like what they can throw at them just from a defensive standpoint.
Oh yeah.
And you have Anthony Edwards on the other side, so not a ideal matchup.
I mean, they had the Lakers so tired they weren't even rebounding. Like they weren't even trying to rebound. Like they had nothing. They were just cooked. Um, Speaking of OKC, are we good to move on from the Timberwolves? AB, you good?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of OKC, sweep the Grizzlies, blow them out by 50 something in game 2, I think. Um, and they just look dominant. We haven't seen them play in it feels like a month because they swept them so quickly. And now they're going to be facing either the Nuggets or the Clippers. AB, you were mentioning you think the Clippers could take them out. What do you think about the Clippers exposes the weaknesses of the Nugget of the Thunder, and what are the Thunder's weaknesses?
Statistically, they really don't have many, if any. I think it's really just a game of being able to mitigate what they can do, and just be able to make like, them just trying to essentially rattle them. Gosh, it's hard, but what I would say is that I think, um, with the with the Nuggets against OKC, I could just see them being able to defend Denver better. And I think that Denver just doesn't quite have the firepower. But what I like about the Clippers is the fact that, you have this new culture going with the wall and
Wall
with the
sick.
stuff in Inglewood. These yeah, these fans are passionate and this culture is good now. And it's been good, but now it's like they really have their own identity and they're fired up behind that, and
Can I
that's
pause you
great.
on that real quick?
Um,
Intrude real quick. The for the first time ever, I swear to God, I've never heard this before. I'm watching Nuggets Clips game 6, and I hear out of the arena, "Let's go Clips. Let's go Clips." And I was like, "Are they saying let's go Clips?" Like I've literally never heard the stadium
yeah,
of like cheering for the Clippers like that. And it was
it was
loud,
awesome.
it was passionate, and as you said, the wall's a great advantage, but go ahead. I just want to intrude there as you mentioned it.
No, man, you're all good. I mean, they're Jeff Van Gundy, is mainly their defensive assistant, and he made it his mission all year to stop, like to spend as many games holding opposing teams to below 100 points. And that's why for me they were so fun to watch all year long because I mean I love that. I love teams that bring, great play on both sides of the ball to an NBA game. I just think that when you have the best players in the world, you might as well show the best on both sides of the ball. It's great. And it made them a great team to watch all year long. And I think bringing that mantra um into the playoffs is just after you've been doing that all year, I mean, it's so important. And I think, in a hypothetical against OKC, um, I mean, you are doing well in the point guard battle, because obviously SGA is great, but Harden's good, and it also obviously gives you something. Shooting guard, I mean. and it gets a little dicey, but Norman Powell's really stepped up.
Norman Powell's been
It just
amazing.
gets dicey.
They're not a game
Yeah, it
seven
just
though.
gets dicey just because OKC, we also got guys. We got Jalen Williams. We got, then we go down the lineup. We still got Chet. We got Isaiah Hartenstein. We got
Aaron
Alex
Wiggins.
Caruso, Casey Wallace. We got Aaron Wiggins. Yeah, and these are all dudes that, yeah, if they're not starters, could start on another team. So you really, if you can just make Jalen Williams and SGA uncomfortable, like things could like open up because Kawhi and James Harden have been there. James
And
Harden's
Kawhi's the perfect type
obviously
of
been
guy
the
to
best
put on
in
SGA,
conversation.
no?
Yeah, but maybe, yeah. I don't know. That's just tough because like their whole lineup is gonna be 6-6 through, I mean 7-2, but it's really just gonna be take your pick, and they're gonna have to just do a lot of switching. But I just personally think that, with the strength of their ability to switch defensively as well as, how good Kawhi is and how good he is right now, like, I don't know. I think that they could get it done.
Love to hear
Hey,
it.
it's also like it's a fascinating matchup because you have the young and upcoming team that's like it feels like it's their time, like they're the best team in the NBA all year, but they don't have the guys who have gone at the finals before. And then on the other side, you have two dudes in the twilights of their career who were honestly like kind of written off at this point. That like this team was kind of done. You know,
Big time.
while George was gone, that era felt like it was over. Like Kawhi plays 30 games a year. He's out for the playoffs. Harden is who he is at this point, and now it feels like they actually have a chance to go on a little bit of a run here. Um, so I do think that like just the way that the teams are trending, I think I definitely would like the Clippers a little bit more in the next round because we've seen the best version of the Nuggets, and this is not it. And like really the last since they won the finals, it's just there's been something off. Like that flawless offensive basketball that we were used to seeing with them when they were making runs. Like it's just you see glimpses of it, but it's not consistent at all.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like they would have the juice to really compete in a 7-game series where I think you're right, like they could definitely frustrate the scores of the Thunder.
I like that
The
because
Clippers.
the Nuggets if they advance, it's like they have OKC has just they have two main guys that they can throw at Jokic at all times with Chet and Hartenstein.
Mhm.
And that's why they got Hartenstein or Steen, anyone know? Anyways, um,
Kind of.
yeah, I think it's Hartenstein
Mm.
actually. Now that I'm saying it,
Hardenstein. Yeah, I
but
think it's Hardenstein. Yeah,
okay, perfect.
I was gaslighting you.
Okay, bet. But so they have guys that's why they got them to face Jokic, and they don't have
Mhm.
and they have Jalen Williams who is a body type that matches up really well against uh, Kawhi, and Carson Wallace could play really good defense against Kawhi, but when Kawhi gets in that Terminator mode, like AB was talking about earlier, there it's they like we just saw Nick Batum stop Jokic. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And I don't think there's going to be a guy that can stop Kawhi in the same level as someone who could stop Jokic on OKC. And maybe that's bad take because Jokic is also the best player that we've seen in the past 5 years.
It's more. I
It's
mean, it's
like,
more so like the surrounding cast that it is. Like, it's not an indictment on
yeah,
Jokic.
Yes.
100%, 100%. I was gonna say, I mean, it's Jokic is obviously playing at an incredibly high level. It's really all just again, it's like going back to what I just said. If Jamal Murray is playing like he was last night or a couple nights ago, I mean, obviously he won't be able to shoot what? Actually, no, he came down a little bit. I think he finished in the high 50s, low 60s, whatever. If he can play like that, then they could win another ring, 100%. But it seems like we're just getting like above average to solid games from him the rest of the way. And if that's what we're getting, then I will see it.
The so we've gone an hour here on the pod. Haven't mentioned the Eastern Conference at all. Um,
I think that's the right way to do it, though.
Yeah, I think that is the right way to do it. And it's sad because we had good games with the Knicks Pistons. I thought all those games were fantastic. The Bucks Pacers had a lot of quality games in there. It just ended up being 4-1 and 4-2, so it doesn't get the limelight. The Heat series was nothing. The Magic series was interesting for a game or two, and then the Celtics always came up at the end. Um, I mean, the Magic did get one game, but Celtics took care of business besides that. The Pacers, which one do you want to start? Actually, I'm going to ask you, Aaron, which one do you want to start out with, the Pacers or the Knicks? Oh, I shouldn't have asked him. He's
It was
What
lagging.
you say about the Pacers or Knicks? The thing was cutting out a little bit.
Oh, okay. I said I'm going to let you choose which one we're going to talk about. Pacers or the Knicks?
You mean Celtics or Knicks?
No. Like we're talking about the Pacers Bucks, or we're going to talk about the Knicks Pistons. Which one do you want to talk about? I'm asking you.
Oh, it literally, oh, dude, both times it just cut to you going, Pacers or Knicks? Um, um, I think the Pacers discussion would be more fun because it's more nuanced and there's more options within it. So let's go Pacers because the Knicks will be easier in my
All right,
opinion.
let's do it. The Pacers, they win in 4-1 against the Bucks. The most meaningful thing of this series was the last game where they won by 1 point, and afterwards, Tyrese Halliburton's dad yells at Giannis on the court, says, "This is what we effing do," holding the towel of his son. He is now banned for the next series.
What's wrong with
Uh,
that? What's wrong with that?
oh, I love this. Keep going.
I think everything's wrong with it.
Keep going, Chris.
I didn't, like, it's just a dad being passionate.
That
You can fine him, but don't ban him.
I
He's
think
a
you move
fan.
his
Like, what if
seats.
any other
Fucking-
fan? Yeah, that's right. Move his seat.
a,
Don't let him sit up close.
a dad being
Put him where the other
passionate on the court in the face of one of the best players in the league who's already won a championship, who's done nothing to him in his face within his personal space.
It was
That's
a
the
little
problem with
ridiculous.
it.
It was a little ridiculous.
So yeah, that's Brady. I think you have the right
Yes,
take.
fans
Put him
can't
where
do
the
that
other fans
either.
are. If he's gonna act like a fan, and not like the father of an NBA player, then put him with the other fans.
Yeah, I think he's got to sit with the other fans.
Yeah.
Like you got and like nosebleed him. You got to send him into the nosebleeds.
That'd be funny.
The
Yeah.
So wait, anyway, the game itself, Gary Trent Jr. game, by the way. Poor Gary Trent Jr. This is gonna be anytime anyone mentions him, it's gonna be thought of he saved the game and then immediately lost the game in
Yeah.
1 minute. Um, he was amazing. He had 2 games of 30 plus this series. They were gonna win both of those games without Dame, and he drops it out of bounds with less than a minute to go. What, 30 seconds to go? It was like there was seconds on the clock.
One possession.
Yes, it was. If he caught the ball and held onto it, they would have won the game. And he drops it, goes right out of bounds. Halliburton, by the way, the ball's on Halliburton just to go straight at Giannis multiple times in that overtime, drive right on
He was
him,
great.
and they get the layup he got the layup every time. It was super impressive. It makes me believe in this Pacers team a little bit. And I mean, they were a conference finals team, and everyone, like, ever since the Hawks made the conference finals, everyone is just shit on conference finals teams. Nobody cares about that made the conference finals anymore. I think this Pacers
Yeah.
team's good, and I think they're going to take. I don't know if they beat Cleveland, but I think they take them to 6. Sorry, I know I just kind of went all over the place, but you guys
They're
pick up
good. It just
wherever.
feels like they have a ceiling. Like, it
Yeah.
feels like conference finals is their ceiling, and
Yeah.
like the way that the Knicks season ended last year with all the injuries and like the play style, it was almost like a perfect storm for them. Whereas this year they're running into the hottest team in the NBA. So I do think it'll be a competitive series. Like, they're not going to get swept. I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised if
think
it
it's
went
swept.
6.
Yeah, I think
think-
7
Cavs
would
haven't
be.
faced like
I'd be
any
s-
adversity yet either. So like if they have them on the ropes, like when they have to go to Indiana, I would not be surprised if they took both those games.
there's going to have to be some clutch moments from the Cavaliers where they didn't need any clutch
Yeah.
moments in this last series. I mean, they
Which is nice
cakewalked.
to a degree that you kind of like, yeah, that you cakewalk and you save that juice for the next series. But there definitely is part of it where it's like, I haven't seen him in a close playoff game yet.
We'll get to the Celtics later. That's why I think they're gonna sweep the Knicks. I think they're gonna sweep them. Because they had that, and it wasn't if you look at the final score, it wasn't a tough series. It was 4-1, but they they was the second best defense in the league, and they played like it, the Magic, the whole time, and they
Yeah,
were in their
that's what they
faces.
do to you. I mean, that's why
Yeah,
you didn't want the Magic, right?
yep, yeah. I didn't want the
And that they
Magic.
can just turn games into rock fight. Like that one game that they won was like
Oh, it was a
straight
brick
out of the
fest.
90s.
Yeah, and they hurt Tatum at some point. They hurt Drew Holiday at some point. Porzingis' head was bleeding on the ground. It was like that. That's a tough I didn't want to see. Luckily, they came through with it.
Yeah.
But back back to Milwaukee, because this opens up a greater conversation of what the hell do they do? They traded for Kyle Kuzma out of all people to try to save their season, and Kyle Kuzma doesn't even play in this last overtime game.
I,
Um,
it's shocking.
is it shocking? It's
No,
shocking.
just like
Shocking that they traded for him to begin with.
it's shocking that it went this poorly. Like I
Oh,
was
I don't
glad that
know.
Kuzma was gone. Really?
Dude,
You
he
didn't think
gave
that he would
up
be
on
like
games. He was a terrorist, bro. He was a terrorist for the city of
he was,
DC.
but he's a terrorist on the Wizards.
That's true.
They had a shot to win some playoff games. I know. I thought that he would at least be like 15 points, like a decent third option. I thought it was stupid that they traded for him, but for it to implode
I
like
get
it
what you're saying.
did,
At least, yeah, he got 0 in
it might
game
be an
1.
indictment on the rest of the team. This is
PR
this point
purposes,
of turn
I
of
would like
events,
to
me defending Kuzma.
Yeah, right? How the
For PR
turntables.
purposes, I would like to state that all three of us on Wise Guys do not actually believe that Kyle Kuzma was a terrorist. That is a satirical joke, and Kyle Kuzma,
I don't know. Is
relative
he
to the
MS-13?
players in the world, is a
We
great
gotta check his
basketball player.
knuckles. We gotta check his knuckles, man. You gotta see what
Ever
Kyle
been caught in
Kuzma's.
a Bulls hat? I bet he has.
Yeah, he had 0 in the first game. Um, he had a rough series for Kyle Kuzma standards. Like it's bad when it's rough for Kyle Kuzma standards. He played 12 minutes in a must-win game.
Dude, AJ Johnson would have played better minutes.
Oh yeah, yes. J.J. Johnson, dude, great storyline for the Wizards there. But well, to focus on the
It's
Bucks,
just another one. All these trades that you're like, that's all that they were able to get. And like Beal, Kuzma, both those trades are highway robberies now.
completely agree. I sent that to AV the other day, and he was just like, oh, it's just a couple second round picks and a couple play. You're I don't know if you know, but you are muted, by the way, AB. Um, yeah, it's a rough look for Giannis and the Bucks. The future now, the future talks of if Giannis is going to stay is out there. Very reminiscent of LeBron leaving the Cavs when they couldn't beat the Celtics back in the day, and I don't I don't see why. If you're Giannis, I'd want to get out of there as fast as possible. There's not a lot of ways out of this Milwaukee situation besides trading Giannis.
Yeah, and but I just think I just don't know if Giannis has the personality to leave his hometown team, like the team that drafted him and brought him over. He's just so humble, and I just if he does, I feel like he would only go I I wasn't talking about. I don't know if you were just talking about the Bulls or not. I had to mute for a second, but I didn't-
Oh, we can talk about the
I
Bulls.
just
I was
think that
not
the
basketball.
whole thing with him is that he'll either stay where he is, or I think he'll go to a ready-made contender. And I could have said it earlier, but I like keeping everything in line too. With what you guys were talking about, I think especially with what Chris was saying on Houston, I think that it's a team like a Houston will be able to get up an easy package for him
Oh yeah,
because
I would go lost.
I think what you were saying,
Cam
Chris,
Whitmore and
think about it.
Shepard don't even play.
That's
Send
what
him in
I'm
the
saying.
package.
They have several dudes that would be very meaningful pieces in that package that, yeah, just don't play. And why does a team like Houston or even OKC need their picks? Obviously they don't.
Yeah.
So they could send,
Well, and
you
Milwaukee
know,
desperately
trade 'em
needs
all.
picks.
well, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So, um, I mean, if they choose to do it, and if they go down that route, then I see it being a team like that to where they're a contender and they get Giannis and they would be a contender again, or they're like on the fringe and they get Giannis and they turn into a contender. I
Dude,
just
the
don't see a team
size of that
doing
Heat is
it.
in
What?
Sorry, go ahead, finish up, finish up.
I was just gonna say, I just don't see a team that's not like that isn't proven to be better than the Bucks are right now to say that that would be a good idea. I'm talking about
Mm,
teams talent-wise in the range of like us, the Bulls, like teams like that. Like it wouldn't make sense for that, like even like the Heat or the Nets. Like it wouldn't make sense for for those teams because like you trade for Giannis, you're gonna be like as good if not worse than the Bucks are this year. So like what's the point?
it
Just go
almost
ahead.
feels like he needs, like, a culture reset.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a stink in this
Agreed.
organization
No, and
that's
I
been
think
there the last couple of years. And,
that's
like, the
why we
Dame move was trying to, like, take the next step forward and say, like, "We are this contender, like, we're adding this alpha in Dame," and, like, you let out one of the best culture guys in the NBA in Drew Holiday, and then you trade away Chris Middleton, who's another awesome culture guy. Um, and like you see the effects of like Kuzma is the worst culture guy,
yeah.
and seems like Dame isn't great either. Um, so yeah, I think it would be best for him to either explore something new or like they just need a reset of this roster. And I think it's doable. Like when you have a player like Giannis, you don't want to trade him, and like
No.
you know that ownership is strongly against that because getting rid of him, like you're probably never going to get another player like him. So just in terms
They
of
didn't
like team brand and selling tickets, like you can't just move on from him. So I'd be shocked if they like really explore it, but
It would
I
have to
guess
be
it's
him
possible
saying
he
it.
puts them in a position that
Yeah.
it
they
would
have to, which would
because
suck.
they wouldn't even have done it for Luca. Remember y'all? Did y'all remember
Mhm.
that report? I don't know if y'all ever saw it, but like
That was a fake report. They didn't get
no, that
offered Luka.
I thought they said that even if they came called, there was like confirmed from their front office that they didn't reach out about Luca, but it was like even if Bucks front office knew that Luka Doncic was on the trade market, it would have taken more than Luka to get Giannis.
Yes, I think
And
I think you're right on that one.
that's just them basically saying like, dude, you can give us the other best young player in the world and we don't care. Like because like that's how much we value this guy. And I think that's because it goes both ways. It's how much, he's given so much of his time and effort obviously to them. So he's like, of course, like if he doesn't give us any notion of wanting to be traded, like we're not going to trade the guy. And
Dude, can you imagine how good that
for
Bucks team would be? Or that Mavs team would be if they had Giannis instead of Luka? They would have won the finals last year.
yeah,
They
I mean,
probably
I
would
don't
have
know
won the
about
finals
him.
this year too.
Who
Because he wouldn't have
knows?
gotten hurt like AD. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of fascinated by that now.
No, no. But that's what why like if I were the Bucks, why wouldn't I have tried it for a Luka Giannis trade? If I were the Bucks, like why go AD? If you want to stretch forward, that's great defensively. Shoot for the stars. Like why was your
You mean the
first
Mavericks,
call
by
and
the way,
you
right?
called Anthony Davis? Huh?
Mhm.
You said Bucks, you meant Mavericks.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, if you're the Mavs, why would your first call be to AD? Like
Nico,
why would
Nico,
you
that's
yeah.
gonna go down in history, man. I mean, it's gonna go down in history as the dumbest trade of all time.
Yeah, I mean, if it were me, understand it. Your mind is made up. You want Luca gone, but I don't understand the part of your mind being made up on AD. Like, and I'm not saying AD's bad or anything, but I'm just saying if it were me, I got a 25-year-old superstar. I'm saying I want the dude that's won an MVP. He's 4 years older than Luca. Luca
Yeah,
hasn't even won an MVP yet, but he's probably going to. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like they're 8 years late on the AD trade.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For real.
Yeah.
So going forward with the Bucks,
Yeah, what were we talking about? Bucks.
yeah, Bucks Pacers. We were talking about Bucks Pacers. Um, I honestly think we covered pretty much everyone here. I like this Pacers team. I do think that they're gonna keep it close with the Cavs. I don't think they're gonna beat the Cavs because they've been the hottest team in the NBA. But I
Yeah.
could see it going 6, and I could see it going 7. But if it goes 7, I think Cleveland takes care of business there.
What are the
Yeah.
odds on this series? I'd imagine it's like Cleveland minus
Yeah,
3,
last I
400.
checked, it was Pacers plus 280.
Gotcha. So probably minus 350.
Yeah,
Ish.
something like
That's
that.
relatively good value.
Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. I think that's a pretty good bet on the Buck or a bet on the a solid bet on the Pacers if you think that they're going to beat them. The Pistons Knicks slugfest, great games all around. The last game happened last night. Jalen Brunson taking over control. I thought it was going to be some cheeky foul bait, but he cleanly it wasn't a push off. He just shakes off a Sir Thompson, one of the best young defenders in the league. Gets wide open for a 3, nails it. Game's over. Just like, well, actually, Michael Beasley has to pull a Gary Trent Jr. and drop the ball, but after that, game's over. Incredible series. I bet on the Pistons. I like the Pistons. I thought if they forced a game 7 last night, then the Knicks would be in some real trouble. But it didn't end up happening. Knicks advance. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Oh, you're getting attacked over there, Chris.
I got attacked.
Credit to the Knicks. I think it's more so, you know,
What's going on, AB?
You think they're Knicks?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he getting trolled? Is he getting trolled by roommates?
A hawk. Oh my god, I'm sorry, this is the most badass thing I've ever seen.
did a hawk just run to our front door?
No, a hawk just like got a squirrel like right off our porch or something. Look at this shit. Look at this dude. Fuck,
Yo,
that is the
Hawk
most-
Tua.
Wait, do we have live footage of this?
I'm not even kidding. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
like
we
the most badass like bird I've ever seen.
Yo, that is, oh my gosh. That's a
Try to
cool
get the
looking bird.
laptop. Try to
Yeah,
get the
show the
audience in on
pod.
this.
Hold on, trying to open.
Drew, say what's up.
What's up? What's up?
How we doing?
Look at this.
Let me see this hawk.
Y'all see him take off?
Oh no, we didn't see him take off.
No, I missed
That was a
them.
beautiful bird. Damn.
Holy. Hey, someone's
Sorry, y'all. That was, dude. No, yeah, that's why we were tweaking because, like, you know, we don't exactly live in the best part of town, and our door just like shook, and we were like, "What the heck?" Dang, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, apparently this hog just came and just scooped up a squirrel. Um, no, but anyway, back to the point. I think it's more credit to the Pistons than it is the Knicks by any means, just because, like, I mean, the Pistons got, to 6 games without even a couple of like their really meaningful players. Like, they didn't, imagine if they had Jaden Ivey and I forget who else, but there was somebody else I think that they had missing, and that if they, huh?
No, that's we didn't
Oh,
see
that's
it.
somebody else.
That's probably
That's missing some.
Larkin and
But if somebody they had, and if they were fully healthy, they could have maybe even won the series. And I just think it was so cool watching them be good again this year. Like they're just one of those teams that that basketball is more fun when they're good. So, hey man,
I think
credit
it
to
goes for
them.
both
but
teams that played in this series, right?
yeah, for sure. But the Knicks are probably about to go lose in 5. I think.
Sweep.
I just
Bring out the
sweep,
brooms.
right, Brady?
Bring out the brooms.
I'm going. I'm thinking they might be nice and let New York get one at home.
Gentlemen. Yeah, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Hey.
but that's just why I didn't have as much to say on that series, just because it's like I feel like the answer is obvious. I mean, the Knicks don't play or don't have a great record against top teams, and their team hasn't changed since the games where they haven't had a great record against top teams.
Can we say the not great record, please? You want to say it out
I think
loud?
it's like
OKC,
it's
Cleveland,
I don't
Boston, 0-10. 0-10. They haven't won a
yeah,
single
0-10
game all
against
But do we
season.
have the like average margin
0-10
of
against
defeat?
60-win teams.
Oh, that's a good. I should have looked up the average margin of defeat. But no, I just know that it's 0-10 against those teams. Um,
So I don't know.
they just
I
don't have
just
the dog. They don't have the
personally
horses on defense. The Celtics just went through a battle, a war, and they're gonna be the Knicks are gonna be gassed, bro. Game 1, they're gonna be gassed, and I don't know. I'm definitely overconfident. I'm ready for the brooms. It's a 2-3 seed that I've never been more confident that the Celtics are gonna beat them in. Um,
hey man, we'll see.
yeah, no, we got to see, and it's like, um, man, I'm all in 'em. After they beat I didn't think they were gonna beat the Magic in 5. I thought at first they were going to. I think I said it on, um, pod. I had them on. No, I didn't even write it down. I think I had them. I had them 4-0 or 4-1. But they it ended up being a better series than I thought because they had the battles. They got battle tested quickly. Um, and the Magic team was better than I thought. So I'm all in
I
on the
thought you were
Celtics.
pretty like open about the Magic that you were like
I
you
was
didn't
nervous about
prefer
them
to
coming
play them.
in. I didn't think they would be as physical as they were. I knew their defense was going to be good, but they were hitting and like really playing some 90s basketball against the Celtics.
Mhm.
Um, and I didn't expect that as much.
I think I wish I could have came on even before that series because I would have dropped some hot takes on on what I felt like Magic could have done. But I feel like if the Magic were like had everybody, they could have taken Boston to 7. But I'm not saying they could have won it, but I feel like this season they could have taken them to 7. I feel like next season they stay healthy, Paulo takes another step, like you know they could be an Eastern Conference Finals team is my hot take for next season about them. But we're talking about this season right now. Don't need to go too in depth on that. But
I agree with that
I'm
though.
like Paulo's probably the one guy I'll get the most like irrational with my takes on these days, just because he's my favorite player to watch in the league. But like I mean, before he got hurt this season, I believe they were sitting at 9-2, and a very then they were he was averaging about 29 a game, and then they were playing really well. I think he was putting up, yeah, like 29, 8 and 5 or something before he went out. So I don't know. I think another year of them and them staying healthy, like they could be great next year. They could be great next year. But yeah, I think that for back to the topic, I just don't like. I think the Knicks are good defensively, but they don't have the depth. And it's not like Boston's depth is like as amazing as it's been in years past, but it's certainly they at least have a certainly better 8-man rotation, even 9, and going into a 9-man rotation if Joe would go that deep. Of course, they
Brunson
beat
on
him there
defense,
too.
campaign off the bench. I'm just licking my lips. Like this is gonna be fun.
What I'm saying, like if Jalen Brunson had to resort to foul baiting when he had a Sar Thompson on him, like Drew's not gonna let you
Yeah,
do that, dude.
yeah.
Like he's like Asar's a great defender, but dude, he's only been in the league for 2 years. Like Drew Holiday's seen these tricks for about 15 now.
So AB, uh, Chris has to go soon. So we're gonna end off with who do you think? Who do you think's gonna win the championship? That's the simple question. We're gonna end off on that.
I think that I think that it comes down to two teams and just a couple of factors, but if Jason Tatum continues to play the way that he's been playing right now, I don't see anybody beating the Celtics. Now, if we get last finals version of Jason Tatum, I think that it becomes more open. I think you could possibly see Cleveland winning. I think you could possibly see, whoever teams on the West side winning. But if you get this alpha dog version of Jason Tatum who's dropping 30 and like clearly the best player on the floor. Like I don't see the Celtics losing. However, I think the T Wolves have proven that their depth slash big concerns post losing Cat are gone. And Ant's, like I said earlier, Ant made it to the Western Conference Finals, and he's making it feel like the next step is the finals. So I think it's either going to be OKC or Minnesota in the finals now, with a chance of the Clippers roadway also working. But I think it's going to be one of those three teams. And if it's not the Celtics, I think it's either the Clippers or the T-Wolves. But I do like the Celtics the most so far.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Hate that I'm still on that, but I still am.
Hey man, it's just, you gotta go with the guys, bro. And of course, everyone. I'm not gonna pick anyone else besides the Celtics. Chris, who you got to wrap us up?
I mean, I can't pick Boston now that both of you guys
Yeah,
Boston.
we'll look.
I think
we
that
won't
was
we'll
my
look like the square guys.
pre-playoffs pick. I know, and my other pick would probably be OKC.
That's okay. Hey, that's
I'll
fine.
take OKC though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll still take OKC. For all, I feel like we barely talked about them for how dominant they've been, and it's almost like we talked about it before the playoffs. This is the team that like could be like Boston last year, where we talked so much about the other teams and like who really had a chance, and we're talking about who has a chance to beat the best team, and
Yes.
so we barely talked about OKC. Like obviously, Ant scares me a lot, and I think the Clippers match up well against them, but like it's easy to forget that they won 64 games this year.
It's also easy to forget that they just and I know the Grizzlies stink, but they just beat a playoff team by 50 points and swept them.
Smoked them. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's all. Thank you for joining us, Aaron. I'm glad you got to make it.
No, thank you all for having me.
Thank you all for listening.
Anytime, yeah.
Yeah, when we have more time, Aaron, we'll have to get some Panthers thoughts, but we have all summer for that.
Oh boy.
Oh man, I love the pull up.
I wish to do like a hot takes episode too once the season is
yeah.
over.
I like that.
That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
just break the mold and just do like just a wise guy's hot takes, just about anything.
Yep.
I can
Yeah,
I can spend about 30
yeah.
minutes right and coming up with a great list. So
That sounds like a
But-
perfect July episode.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, definitely in these dry months where we're all watching our favorite baseball team and doing whatever we can else to fill the day.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
thank you all for listening. Thanks again, Aaron, for coming on, and we'll see everyone